Well, the Missouri man accused of shooting 16-year-old Ralph Yarl has now been charged with first-degree felony assault and armed criminal action. Andrew Lester told police that he thought Yarl was trying to break into his home, so he shot him. Yarl's family says the teen went to his door by mistake, and now court documents say there's no indication that any words were even exchanged before Lester opened fire. ABC News contributor and host at Law and Crime Network, Brian Buckmeyer, joining me now for more. So, Andrew Lester, Brian, as we know, the man accused here, he's been charged with felony assault, but Ralph Yarl's family had hoped for attempted murder charges. They want him charged to the fullest extent of the law. What do you make of this, the prosecutor's charges, and also the talk about racism here, and looking at his mugshot and wondering, is there something else going on in this 85-year-old man that we just simply don't know yet?
Yeah, so Kara, the first thing is, I thought the same thing. Why is there not an attempted murder charge here when you're talking about one shot to the head and then a second one to the arm? And then I looked at the actual statute that Missouri has for assault in the first degree, and it actually encompasses attempted murder. It's not just a very serious injury to an individual, but also the attempted murder where serious physical injury occurs. That's what gets you this type of first-degree assault, where someone could go to jail for 10 to 30 years, or the maximum being that of life in prison. To the second point about race, I understand a lot of people asking for it to be hate crimes, that this might be racially motivated, but I think that there's a maybe more nuanced issue here at play, that I don't see the elements of a hate crime charge here, but there could be a racial aspect to this, in the sense that him perceiving what he believed to be a very large black man, and that's not the situation, this is a boy. You look at his face there, I don't think a razor has touched his face in his life. That's a boy. But what he perceives based on the color of his skin and the size of his body is that of a threat. And that's why he reacted to it as such. I don't think it's racist, but I think it is racial.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong here, but as a gun owner, there has to be, doesn't there legally have to be some sort of warning, as in, you know, who are you? Stand back. I'm armed. Doesn't there have to be some type of communication before you open fire?
Not necessarily. When it comes to self-defense, which is being applied here, the rule that most people use is you don't have to wait to be punched before you punch. Of course, we're talking about a gun here. The fact that there were no words communicated makes it more difficult for Lester to accuse Yarl of anything, breaking and entering, assaulting him. And that's why a lot of people say that there should be words communicated, because it makes it much clearer if you're attempting self-defense, but there's no hard and fast rule that needs to occur.
Are there questions, though, that need to be answered with regard to an 85-year-old man's, you know, mental capacity? We don't know anything about him yet, right? Do we know if he's suffering from any type of mental illness or dementia, or I'm just throwing this out there. There's more to be known about him, right? And also, was he a legal gun owner?
Yeah, so the first one is absolutely, because when we talk about self-defense, or this is, I think, more accurately called the Castle Doctrine, because he would be saying he's protecting himself and his home, it goes to a question of reasonableness, and it's reasonableness based on the person. It's different to be a reasonable 84-year-old man in Missouri as it would be different to be a 35-year-old man in New York. And so if we're looking at his reasonableness, we do have to explore his mental health, his perception of what's going on, the fact that it's 10 o'clock at night, and that will all come into play as we learn more and more about him if this does actually progress to a trial. When we talk about then other aspects circulating this case, it is going to be a wait and see, but we do have those questions as you're positing.
All right, Brian, thank you so much. We'll continue to follow the case, of course.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.